Dre Baldwin, workonyourgameuniversity.com. Topic of this video is increasing the velocity of outcomes. Now, in my work as a coach and just helping people with their growth, development, advancement, success, achievement, whatever, you could use any one of those words. It doesn't matter who I'm talking to, whether I'm talking to a basketball player back in the day, a transitioning athlete, somebody leaving a corporate job or the government to come start a business, someone who's already running a business and they want to make the business do better. Everybody's looking for growth, and usually the kind of people who I'm talking to are looking to do more and better than what they're doing already. That's generally the case. Most of you who are watching videos like this, you're probably trying to do more and better of what you're doing, whether that's make more money, achieve more success, have more happiness, make more friends, influence more people, etc., etc. I am going to offer you a somewhat challenge, a point that somewhat challenges this idea. It's a little bit counterintuitive. Let me tell you what it is, then I'll explain it. What you actually want to do is not necessarily do more and better of what you're already doing. What you're really looking to do is increase the velocity of what you have going on. In other words, you want to take the outcomes that you're achieving and you just want to achieve them faster, because if you achieve them faster, what you're actually doing is buying time, which allows you to go achieve the same thing again faster. So you're achieving more outcomes in a shorter period of time. That's what you're actually looking for, not necessarily more. Let's use a simple example. Let's say your goal right now is you want to make more money. Right now you're making, let's say you're making $10,000 a month and you want to start making $20,000 a month, or at least that's what your goal is right now, $20,000 a month. If instead of making $20,000 a month, what if instead the goal was, instead of making $20,000 a month, why don't you just start making $10,000 every 2 weeks? So if you made $10,000 every 2 weeks, now you're still getting your $20,000 a month, and you took the same outcome you're already doing, you just figured out a way to do it faster. And sometimes it's simpler to do that. Just speed up the results that you're already getting and frame it that way. How do I get the same result and just do it sooner than, or do it at a faster pace than what I'm doing right now, instead of saying, how do I do more of the thing that I'm doing right now? Because the challenge with doing more of the thing that you're already doing is that that may require more effort from you, and you might not have that much more effort to give. There's a limit to how much effort one can give, because you have a ceiling of 100%. Now, you can't work harder than 100%. You have a limit of how much time you can give. There's only 24 hours in a day. Once you've given 24 hours of your day to an effort, there is no more time to give. So oftentimes when we're trying to do more of a thing that we're already doing, the problem is we run into these limits of humanity that I call them. Again, you can't work harder than 100%. You cannot give more than 24 hours. But one thing you can do is figure out a way to achieve a similar outcome to what you are already getting, and just do it faster than the pace that you're currently doing it at. And again, that frame might lead to different insights, different ideas, and different ways of doing things. So how do you speed up your outcomes? Let me give you another example. Let's say you're trying to get in shape. You're trying to lose 35 pounds and you've been working at it, and it's going it's not going as well as you wanted it to. Maybe you're not losing any weight at all, or maybe you're losing weight, but you're losing weight too slowly. Now, what do? One of the things you can do is keep going to the gym and try to work harder and do longer workouts and run a little bit faster on the treadmill and lift a little bit heavier weight, and that might work, but it also might not, because maybe you just have a limitation of knowledge and insight as to what actually would work, and you don't know. If instead you hired a personal trainer who actually knows what they're doing better than you do, what would happen? Personal trainer, actually, let me back up. If you keep on your current path and keep doing things on your own, based on your own knowledge, at the pace that you know, and based on whatever knowledge you have, which is limited, obviously, because you're not getting the outcome that you want. That means you have limited knowledge. There's something that you don't know. It might take you a year to get that 35 pounds off. You'll get it off, but it takes you a year. Now, the mistake that many people make, I'm going to get to in a second, so don't let me forget that. If instead, now going back to where I was at, you hired a personal trainer, and the trainer knows their stuff a lot better than you know your stuff, the trainer would have you lose that 35 pounds in 6 months rather than taking 12 months. So hiring the trainer at whatever price you paid the trainer, you just bought yourself 6 months of time. Does everybody understand the math there? So instead of it taking you 12 months to do it, and you're spending, let's say, no money relative to what you're already spending. You hire a trainer. Let's say you pay the trainer over the course of 6 months. I don't know, how much is a trainer? Let's say you're paying $50 a session. You do 3 sessions a week. What's that? $150 a week times 4. What is that? $600. Multiply that by a year. What is that math? 6,000 plus another, what, 7? Let's call it, say, $7,200. All right, so you spend $7,200 on a personal trainer to get yourself in shape. And actually, it's only 6 months, so cut that number in half. So 6 months times that, $3,600. So you spend $3,600 to buy 6 months of time. Everybody follow my mathematics here. You bought 6 months of time with $3,600, because had you not spent the $3,600 and just kept your money in your pocket, it would have took you 6 more months to achieve the outcome. Now, some people look at that, because many of you have been indoctrinated with a scarcity mindset when it comes to money and finances, and you say, well, I could just keep my money and still achieve the outcome in 12 months. What's the difference? I mean, the outcome is the outcome, right? Dre, is not about how fast I get to the outcome. It's just about getting to the outcome, period. My answer to that is bullshit. Yes, it's about the speed. And it's more about the speed of the outcome than it is about anything else. And let me explain to you with a very simple understanding as to why. The one limitation that you have in life is not how much money you have. There is no limitation to how much you can have in terms of money, and there's no limitation about how much you can achieve, or that you can know, or that you can experience. The only limitation that human beings have in life is how much time we have. That is the only hard limitation that is guaranteed, and it applies to everybody. No one can escape this limitation. Therefore, you should look for every possible way to increase the velocity of outcome of anything you're looking to achieve, no matter what it costs to achieve it. I want to let that point sink in. Anything you're looking to achieve, you should always be looking for, how can I increase the velocity of this outcome happening? In other words, how to make this outcome happen faster than it's currently happening. And whatever it costs to do that, do it. And some of you may say, okay, Dre, I get the point, but I don't have the money. Okay, fine, you don't have the money. Make the decision that you're going to find a way to make it happen, even if that means you start planning out how much money you're going to need in order for it to happen. The point is accepting it mentally and emotionally, so that as you work on getting the resources, you can actually put them to use in a way that it's supposed to be put to use. The biggest challenge that I find with people is not that you don't have the money. That's a common excuse people use for not doing things. And sometimes you're not doing something because you don't have the money. The point being that you need to be of the mentality that I am looking to get the money so that I can do this thing. Not, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to spend the money on it. Why not just keep my money and do it slower? No. You never want to do anything slow, folks. Everything you're going to achieve in life, you want to do it as fast as possible. Why is this? Because eventually you're going to die. So let's say you're 30 years old right now and you don't know this, but let's just say you found out you're going to die when you turn 80, which means you have exactly 50 years to live. You want to achieve everything you can as quickly as possible, because that gives you an opportunity to live more life, get more experiences, and get more things experienced or lived or done under your belt before you run out of time when that 50-year clock expires. If you do things slowly, let's say you got 50 more things you want to do in life, and each one of them takes 1 year. That means you're going to experience 50 more experiences before your life is over, because you're taking 1 year to do things. You have 50 years left, and you got 50 things to do. So that's 1 year, 50 years. That's how much time you have left. If, on the other hand, you start focusing on and prioritizing the velocity of your outcomes, how do I achieve these outcomes twice as fast? Let's take all these 50 things that you want to do over the rest of your life, which you know is 50 years left, and I want to do them twice as fast as I'm doing them, even if that means spending money, even if it means changing my approach, even if it means getting pushed out of my comfort zone, if it means changing my mindset. You should do all of these things. Why? Because if you achieve things twice as fast, now that means you'll have achieved your bucket list, let's say, of 50 things in 25 years, which means you have just bought yourself 25 years of time in which you can go achieve 25 more years of stuff. You can do a whole bunch of more other things with this additional 25 years that you just bought, because you made adjustments that allow you to achieve your outcomes twice as fast. You understand this equation? And you should understand this equation, because I think I'm pretty good at breaking things down and helping you understand them. So now, with that additional 25 years, now you can go achieve another 25 years worth of stuff. Maybe you can go achieve another 50 things. Being that you have this new standard of speed and this new pace of velocity that you've adjusted yourself to in your life. What's the biggest thing that stops people from doing this? Well, number one, as I've already touched on, is mentality. Number one thing that stops people from doing this is the mindset that you approach life with. And I've heard way too many people express this mindset that it doesn't matter how long it takes to achieve the goal as long as the goal is achieved. No, this is 100% false. It does matter how long it takes to achieve the goal. And actually, how long it takes you to achieve a goal is the most important thing. The most important consideration is how long does it take to achieve, because time is the one limitation you have. How much it costs is not as important, because you can lose money and make it back. You can spend money and make it back. You can invest money and 10x it. You can invest money and lose it. Money can go up and down at different times. Time does not go up and down, folks. You got a certain amount left, and when it's gone, it's over. They call it death. When your time is up, they call that dying. Okay, when your money is gone, they call that broke. All right, any of you ever been broke? Okay, but you lived to tell the story of being broke. You understand? Any of you ever ran out of time and been dead? No, because you can't live to tell the story if you die. Everybody get what I'm saying here? So, velocity of outcome, speed of outcome. How do I speed up, take the same stuff that I'm doing now, the same stuff that I want to achieve now, and this is all assuming that you are of a relatively, let's say, moderate or higher level of intelligence. And if I ask each one of you individually, do you think you're relatively intelligent? All of you would say yes. Okay, so going off of that, okay, all of you are relatively intelligent. That means the things that you're looking to achieve right now are not the wrong things. They're not bad things that you're looking to achieve. The problem that most of you have is that you're too fucking slow. You're achieving things too slowly. And that happens because either, there could be several reasons. I'm going to throw out a few of them. This is not an inclusive list. You are not investing in speed, meaning you're trying to do everything on your own without using your resources to figure out how to do it faster, i.e. spending money to get things done faster than you can get them done on your own. And you ain't good at everything. So if you're doing everything on your own, I guarantee you're going too slow. Another one is you have the mentality that it's okay. It doesn't matter how long it takes as long as it happens. Bullshit. It does matter. And you're of the mentality that, well, I don't need to do things fast, because you doing things fast or being pushed to do things fast is going to push you out of your comfort zone, is going to make you accept some things that you otherwise have rejected, and is going to have you doing things that you otherwise don't want to do, simply because they seem, in your mind, you haven't actually lived them yet, they seem uncomfortable for you, so you're avoiding them. These are the reasons why you're doing things slowly, not because you can't go faster. It's just simply because you decided you don't want to. Problem with this is, again, you're on the clock. In case you forgot, in case you didn't know, in case no one has reminded you lately, you are on the clock, and there will come a time when you have no more time. And anything that you didn't get done because you were moving too slow, it's not because you didn't know how to do it, not because you didn't have the information or the access or the tools or the information, simply because you were moving too slow. Your life ends, and that potential dies with you. This is the reason why the graveyard is the most valuable real estate in the world. The most valuable real estate is not in Silicon Valley or Manhattan or some big beautiful house that sells for $30 million. The most valuable real estate on the planet is the graveyard. Why? Because it takes, every time somebody dies, all their potential goes there with them. And that'll be you if you keep moving slow the way you have been through life up to this point. So what you want to take away from this video is asking yourself the question, all the stuff that I'm working on right now, whatever you're working on today, how can I increase the velocity of this outcome being achieved? What do I need to do? What do I need to invest? How do I need to change my mindset? And where do I need to allow myself to get uncomfortable, or make myself get uncomfortable, in order to make it happen? That's what you should take away from this. WorkOnYourGameUniversity.com. That's where you work with me directly. You have me as your direct coach, and I guarantee you will get to this.